Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Ethereum and try to give some kind of a price prediction for the next bull run. I have worked really hard on this video along with the Bitcoin video. These are both going to be, I think, the two longest videos in this series because understanding Ethereum is trying to understand everything that goes on in the Ethereum ecosystem. If you like this content, smash up that like button, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section, all for the algorithm. And of course, before we dive on into this, I've got to say the following. This is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. And the other thing that I want to say to you about this is if this is your first video in this series that you're watching, you've got to see the Bitcoin video, which is right before this, because that offers my base case for the entire crypto run. As Bitcoin goes, so goes the rest of the market, although Ethereum sometimes influences everything else, including Bitcoin. So just as important to talk about Ethereum with this, but I hope you enjoy. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So let's first of all take a look at the good and the bad with Ethereum, because there are things with Ethereum and with the so-called ETH killers that we just really need to examine. And I want to start with the good, because there is good with Ethereum. I'm hearing a lot of people FUD Ethereum right now, especially as of the time that I'm making this video. We're seeing Solana making this huge move, and you know I'm super bullish on Solana. I included it in my top 5 bear market buys. I'm very bullish on Solana, but that doesn't mean that I'm out on Ethereum. And right now, the mood seems to be, Ethereum is done, it's dead. And no, that's not the case. So first of all, starting with the good. Ethereum has a massive ecosystem. There are major players that have been built on Ethereum. I mean, I could just go off the top of my head. The next slide will cover Ethereum's ecosystem. So how about I go there and then I'll just go back to it. But I mean, look at this ecosystem. And, I even want to point out, it's easy to look at a chart like this, and you can see charts like this on every layer ones. They claim lots and lots of partnerships and lots of people working together, interoperability, whatever. And here's the difference with Ethereum. Most of these are actually built on Ethereum. And so you'll see these same players in ecosystems partnered with other layer ones, but they're not built on those layer ones. They're built on Ethereum, Aave, Uniswap. There's so many more I could say. I'm just looking at the page here. Crypto.com is built on Ethereum. And then we have the most significant layer 2s in existence right now. We have Polygon, which is built on Ethereum. We have Optimism and Arbitrum. We have IMX, which is another one of my top bear market buys. So Ethereum has calcified in many ways. There are ways that these so-called ETH killers can apparently kill ETH or at least gain market share. But then there are other ways that they just cannot do it right now because ETH got such a huge head start. And kind of as of right now, the default attitude is that you use Ethereum to gain access to the whole world that has been built on it. And maybe that'll change one day, but for this day and for the next few years, at least, that's not going to be the case. So massive ecosystem that has calcified in many ways. Another positive about Ethereum is that they have amazing tokenomics. I've talked about this on other venues. I'm going to say it here. Bitcoin and Ethereum both have far and away the best tokenomics. I will not go into Bitcoin in this video with their tokenomics, and I didn't talk about it in the other video. You know about the halving, you know about how Bitcoin's price increases every halving, of course. But the thing with Ethereum that makes it so attractive from a tokenomics perspective is that they have the luxury of making money and decreasing their supply, of increasing the price, of making revenue, and also decreasing their supply. If you compare Ethereum to a lot of other projects, what you'll see as the big difference is that Ethereum makes money and the other ones do not. And so let's take a look at this here. You know, they instituted EIP 1559 in August, I believe, of 2021 that introduced a burning mechanism. And I would say so far that has worked out very well because Ethereum supply was increasing and now it's flatlined and even decreasing. And so we've taken a look at the ecosystem, but you can see here the circulating supply and you can see right where they peaked. They peaked in 2022. EIP 1559 was launched in 2021, but they peaked around the time that they launched ETH 2.0. Ethereum became deflationary. It's not super deflationary, but the fact is that the supply is decreasing. And as of the day that I'm making this video, it is at 120.18 million. And what if, you know, as we see more and more transactions with Ethereum, we see the ETH supply continuing to decrease over time? What would it look like at the end of this decade if we saw Ethereum supply at a 90 million or something like that? I mean, that's just a random number that I've thrown out. But the fact that Ethereum can decrease their supply while the market cap is going to increase, that's a reward for holders. I mean, I know they have their staking, but this rewards you as a holder that their supply is decreasing and they don't have to worry about that because they don't make money from increasing their supply. They make money from their transactions. And so, like I said, Ethereum makes money hand over fist. If you can see this, as of recent, so this is the last year, their daily revenues, and you can see it peaked in May. That was all about the Pepe insanity with the Pepe coin. They made $250 million in one day in May. But recently, as of the day that I'm making this video, we were seeing $4 million a day, $2 million a day, $10 million a day. They're making millions upon millions of dollars every day in revenue. Compare that to something. Well, here's actually the yearly chart, and you can see the same thing. So you can see that there was a huge, it was much more bullish during the bull run as far as their revenues are concerned. And during the next bull run, we'll see this go much higher. I have no idea what this is. I'm assuming that's some kind of a glitch, but 4 million to 10 million a day before the euphoria is pretty phenomenal. Higher revenues in fees collected than in before the bull run of 2021. So Ethereum is growing in market share. But compare this to Algorand. So Algorand is number 2 when it comes to the number of transactions on their platform. They're number 2. Bitcoin's number 3. So we have Ethereum, which is far and away number 1, but Algorand has more than half on average of the daily transactions. But Algorand, they make money by inflating their supply, and that's not going to be the case forever for them. But they don't make money on their fees. Look at this. We had Ethereum in the millions of dollars when it came to their daily transactions. We have Algorand at the hundreds. Like some days, less than $100. If you're not able to see this on my screen here, though they've averaged over the last week $313 a day in their fees that they've collected. And so you've got this thing that you've got to work out with layer ones right now. And I'm very curious to see how this goes. Is how are you going to make money? Algorand right now makes money the same way Solana does by inflating their supply. But Algorand does have a cap, I think, at 50 billion tokens. And when they cap out, they're going to need to make money other ways. And so I think that some amount of gas fees is actually a good thing. That they shouldn't be at a point where they're charging $20 per transaction like Ethereum, or $200 at the peak of euphoria, but they need to be charging more than 0.00001 algos or whatever it is. Same for Solana. There needs to be some sort of equilibrium here, and I'm very curious to see how this goes. But as of right now, Ethereum is making money. Algorand, Solana, a lot of those other layer ones, they're not making money, and they boast that as a good thing. And I'm like, this does not compute. You've got to figure out ways to make money, whether it's inflating your supply or charging fees, which it seems like Solana is content with just inflating their supply into perpetuity. That's an interesting strategy. We'll see how it goes. Now, moving on to the bad. I mean, yes, Ethereum makes money, but they make money because they have these insane gas fees. And so Ethereum is facing right now, because Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, the people who work on this project, they don't want massive gas fees. They want global adoption with their platform. And while they're struggling to do that, I guess they're drowning their tears away with all the dollar bills. You could just wipe some dollar bills on their face. But Ethereum has right now massive scalability issues, because if Ethereum was $100,000 a coin right now, what we would find is gas fees at, let me think, 50 times what they are right now. I bought some a cryptocurrency, Sync. I'm very bullish on Syncus, Sync, SYNC. I bought that cryptocurrency, and it cost me something like $10 in gas fees. I staked the cryptocurrency. It cost me another $10 in gas fees. If Ethereum was at $100,000 right now, that would cost me something like $400 in gas fees instead of $10. So they're having issues scaling. We have these layer 2 solutions like Polygon and like IMX trying to help with that, IMX with NFTs at least. But still, I don't see much of an improvement when it comes to their scalability issues. And here's what's going to happen personally for me. I mean, it's happening right now. As we get to some kind of a bull run, I am going to want nothing to do with transactions with Ethereum. I don't want to waste all that money, $20, $50 buying a cryptocurrency and then $50 selling a cryptocurrency. That eats into my bottom line. I will just avoid. We get to meme coin season or something like that. I'm avoiding Ethereum and I'm going to Solana. That's just, I don't even want to go to the Binance Smart Chain as of right now. I'm just going to Solana. So that is a problem. Scalability. Another issue is that there is increasing competition from other layer 1 projects, and I'm going to say this, and I am not wrong in this. I believe this with a great deal of truth. Every single major layer 1, let's just limit it to the top 100 of cryptocurrencies by market cap, of which there are about 20 to 30 of those are so-called ETH killers, layer 1s. Every one of them offers superior technology and a better user experience. For example, Solana. NFTs, that was a big deal last bull run. And I got a little bit into NFTs, not a ton, but I bought an NFT on OpenSea through Ethereum, and I just got really frustrated because I paid $30 in gas fees, and I just became a bag holder of this NFT that's worth $0 because I didn't want to sell it, because it didn't increase in value enough for me to justify selling it, because I was going to have to pay another $30 or something in gas fees. So what did I do? I went to Magic Eden on Solana. And I transacted in NFTs to my heart's desire, my heart's content, and I didn't have to worry about gas fees on Solana. And right now I'm facing the same thing. I'm seeing a lot of meme coins built on Ethereum, and I don't want to buy meme coins on Ethereum. All those meme coins, every one of them, they're going to zero. I don't want to risk it with something that may potentially go to zero, so I'm going to Solana to buy meme coins and to just transact in meme coins. It's like less than 1% of my portfolio, but I'm using Solana. And that's going to be the case, especially as the bull run ramps up. And so again, scalability issues, a better user experience on these other layer 1 platforms. How are they going to fix that? I don't know. So with that in mind, here are all the ETH killers, so-called ETH killers: Polkadot, Tezos, Solana, Zcash, all right, and Cardano. Okay, moving on. So here is my base case thesis with Ethereum. First of all, Ethereum is never going to die. I focused on that in the good part. Things have been calcified. Ethereum is, well, let me not say never, but this decade, Ethereum's not going to die. And I'd be shocked if it died in the 2030s. We'll see about beyond that. But the second thing I'm going to say is Ethereum may never be flipped as the top layer 1. When I look at the landscape of layer 1s, Solana, I love Solana as a short-term play, as a medium-term play, but Solana has issues. They have security issues. So Ethereum scalability, Solana security. If they lose the trust of their user base, Solana, then that's going to be an issue moving forward. And so I could go down the list. Every layer 1 has some kind of an issue. So it is possible that Ethereum may never be flipped. I wouldn't make a bet on that. And if I were to choose something that would potentially flip Ethereum, I am thinking long term, like Algorand or like an H-bar. I don't think Solana would, and I don't think Avalanche will. So it is what it is. Ethereum is going to be here for as long as you're concerned, which most of you are concerned about the upcoming bull run, let's be honest. Last thing I'll say is, yeah, Ethereum is going to lose some kind of market share to other layer 1s as time goes on. It makes sense. Internet computer, haven't even talked about internet computer yet. Love internet computer. And one of these will gain a lot of market share, and maybe one of them will actually flip Ethereum. We'll see. But it's not going to die. No way. So with that in mind, taking a look at all of this, the first thing that I want to go to here is its market cap dominance. It's a historic market cap dominance. In 2017, 2018, it peaked in the 30 percentile range. But it's really interesting here looking at Ethereum that it's ranged somewhere between 14% and about 20% in market cap dominance. And that was mostly, that was towards the end of the bull run in 2021. It's just kind of ranged between there. We're seeing a decreasing market cap dominance as of right now, the day that I'm making this video, but I would very much expect it to get back up to 20%. And so the reason why I'm even thinking about this, I'm asking this question with every crypto I'm examining, will this see more or less market cap dominance the upcoming bull run? And personally, for me, I believe that Ethereum will have about the same level of market cap dominance. It's always going to be somewhere between 15 and 20%, at least for the next few years. We're not going to see Ethereum get back to 36%. That was just, the peak of euphoria in 2017, 2018, but around 15 to 20%. So if we see Ethereum's market cap dominance peak at 20%, what does that give us in terms of a price prediction? Well, this is where I would encourage you, if you haven't watched my Bitcoin video, to take a look at that and understand why I am a little bit hesitant to say that Bitcoin will put in a new all-time high in 2024. If you're watching this for the first time, you didn't watch that video, that might sound scandalous to you. I make a case for it in that video, and I would encourage you to watch it. And so I say in that video 51%. Let's say 51%, in my head, the likelihood that Bitcoin will not put in a new all-time high in 2024 or 2025. Ethereum also would not put in a new all-time high in 2024 or 2025. Who knows about after that? We're talking about 2024, 2025. So in that scenario, we're looking at retraces here. And right now, I have my eyes on a 702 retrace, just like Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, that would be $53,000. And that would also be exactly a $1 trillion market cap. And so, does that mean a 702 retrace for Ethereum as well? Well, there's two different scenarios under the most bearish scenario. So number one, we would just see a flat out 702 retrace, which would give us a peak of $3,670. Now that might sound discouraging to you, but given where Ethereum is the day that I'm making this video, I still see that there's room for Ethereum to move up and for altcoins, Bitcoin's dominance to roll over into altcoins and altcoins to do very well, because we're not seeing a lot of altcoins even below, most of them are below still a 236 retrace. So there's a lot of catching up that altcoins can do. Not so much Ethereum and Bitcoin with Bitcoin, but all right, 3670, a 702 retrace. But I like this second picture better because of the fact that Ethereum is deflationary. So total crypto market cap peaks at 2.322 trillion, which is, for the total crypto market cap, a 702 retrace. ETH gains a 20% dominance, like we talked about, and the market cap would then peak at $464.4 billion, which gives us a price of $3,870. That is what I'm sticking with as my most bearish scenario, which I'm even a little bit nervous to say 3870, because that's pretty close. It's pretty close to its all-time high of $4,900. But 3870, worst case scenario. So Next scenario, normal cycle scenario, we would see, and I'm not going to do this with every cryptocurrency, but I would expect ETH to just kind of follow Bitcoin. So in the Bitcoin video, the normal cycle scenario that I gave was a peak of $155,000 and then moving on, to the bear market and all of that. And that was a 2.618 retrace. And so if we saw something similar with Ethereum in a normal cycle scenario, that would give us a price of $11,280. And that would be the 44% chance in my head that everything just goes along normally, that there's no fears of a recession or recession is delayed. But I do believe that there's going to be a recession in 2024 in the United States that's going to affect everything else, stock market, crypto, and all that. And so if that's not the case, 2024, 2025, we see Ethereum peak at $11,280. If we do see a recession in 2024, I would just kick the can down the road and say that we would see a peak of $11,280 in like 2026 or even 2027. So similar deal here. 2.618 retrace, $11,280. Or if we look at total crypto market cap and market cap dominance, I believe under a normal cycle that we would see a total crypto market cap between $6 and $7 trillion. So $7 trillion with a 20% dominance, that gives us a market cap peak for Ethereum at $1.4 trillion. And that gives us a price of $11,649 for Ethereum. And so that's not best case scenario. Best case scenario is we see the US dollar bubble burst. I talked about that in the first video, or we see the Bitcoin ETF, all of our wildest dreams come true. And in this case, an Ethereum ETF, all of our wildest dreams coming true. And we see things goes major supply crunch. Things go off the charts. Bitcoin going to $500,000. And in that case, Ethereum could get to $50,000, $60,000. But I give that something like a 5% chance of happening. But in this case, normal cycle scenario, I am giving you a price of $11,649. And so somewhere between $3,870 and $11,649, anything above the mid $11,000 range is just gravy. I will be exiting everything if we see Ethereum at $11,649 or around there. I'm out on Ethereum. I'll take the gains that I have, and I will be ecstatic. And I hope that's how it turns out. I mean, obviously, I would hope the absolute, euphoria, best case scenario would play out, but I'll take this as a consolidation. One last thing I want to say before ending this video. Something to keep in mind if we are moving towards the peak of euphoria, we see Bitcoin put in new all-time highs, or maybe even if we don't, keep this in mind because I'm going to be paying attention to this. I'm going to be watching for this. Bitcoin's 2017 peak was on December 17th. Ethereum peaked 27 days later in early 2018 at the peak of euphoria. We saw that altcoin season. And altcoin season in 2018 was amazing, and we're never going to experience something like that to that scale. But Ethereum peaked 27 days later. 2021, spring of 2021, Bitcoin peaked on April 14th, the day that Coinbase IPO'd. Ethereum peaked 27 days later again. And so I know that Bitcoin and Ethereum peaked in the fall of 2021 at higher prices, but I've made the case, and I'm going to say this again, I've made the case that the real peak of euphoria, you think about Elon Musk going on SNL, talking about Dogecoin. That was the day that Dogecoin peaked at 75 cents. That was the euphoria. And what happened in the fall? When it comes to measuring euphoria, fear, and greed, there's so many metrics I could point to. That wasn't the real peak. The real peak was in the spring of 2021. And so whenever we get to the real peak between 2024 and 2028, I am absolutely paying attention to this. It doesn't have to be exactly 27 days later, but if I start getting this sense of like, oh man, Bitcoin seems to be losing a lot of steam here and everyone's excited about Ethereum and the things that are built on Ethereum, that's going to register in my mind as like, it might be time. It might be time to exit. So will history repeat itself? We'll see. But it's another tool. This is another tool for your tool belt. But anyway, that is all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stick around for this series because I am busting my butt and I would love your support. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section of this video. If you haven't already, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more coming and I hope you enjoy. Have a good one. Peace.